In this video, we just want to orient you to how we are going to be using Blackboard as the course management system. If you are very proficient in Blackboard, it's okay if you kind of skip through the video, but I would encourage you to still watch the last minute or so where we talk about how we'd like the discussion forums to be used. So first of all, the address is bblearn.missouri.edu, or you can navigate to it through the Missouri website. But it's good to bookmark this or have it handy because we would like you to be logging into Blackboard every day or at least every other day. Once you log in with your MUID, you will see across the top tabs like My Courses, My Organizations, and so forth. My Courses is the main tab, and that's the default. You'll look through your courses. You might not have a lot, but somewhere on there you should see LTC 8900, Summer Semester 2015. That's our course, and that'll get you into our main stuff. Also, if you notice on this homepage, though, you'll see my announcements popping up right away, so those will stick out to you. Once inside, you'll land on our main course page. The main navigation is there on the left, which we'll go through in a second, but you'll also see the announcements right here in the center. We'll try to have an announcement ahead of every unit so that you can kind of just know what's coming in that unit and try to keep everything organized. Now you'll notice we have announcements. If you want to get back here to announcements, the syllabus is already there and available, as is the course calendar. Instructor info is there. You can email us if you want to set up a Skype call or a phone call, anything like that. Then we have the Units tab. Inside the Units tab is where you'll find the heart of this course. You'll see the subfolders for each unit, and inside those folders we have basically all of the content that you'll need for the unit. So you'll find the readings, you'll find the math tasks released as they come up. You'll also find the math homework problems right at the beginning of every unit for you to work on throughout the unit. Links to videos, basically everything that you need for the content of the course. Let's take a quick look inside one of the units. We are now inside a unit folder. This is the introduction unit. But what you'll find inside unit folders are direct links and documents that you can download. It's basically all of the content for the unit. Here you can see math tasks. There's already math task 1 and math task 2 showing up. Notice that they are in docx and PDF form so that you can use whichever you prefer. You have different options for how you want to do your mathematics work and how you want to upload it, so there's going to be a separate video on that coming next week. Normally Math Task 2 will not be there right at the beginning of the unit. We withhold that because we want you to do Math Task 1 first and then build towards Math Task 2 together as a class. Now, the math task work you will turn in under the Assignments tab, and actually any assignments that need to be turned in for grading will be in the Assignments tab. There will also usually be readings. So the introduction does not have a reading, but most units will have 1 or maybe 2 readings. And the readings correspond to discussion forums on the discussion board. So let's take a look at the Assignments tab real quick and then talk a little bit more about the discussion board where you would discuss your readings. This is inside the Assignments tab, and this is where you'll upload things that are actually going to be graded. Usually this will be math tasks 1 and 2 each unit, and also math homework. And then most units also have an education activity, which are things that are pedagogically related that you have to turn in. Maybe it's something that you did with your group. But what you would do is find the assignment. You can see assignment details, you can see the due date. If you click into the assignment, you are brought to the submission page, which is where you can just upload the file and then make sure to hit submit. Now, I just wanted to make a comment that the first math task is typically due Tuesday night, but when we say Tuesday night, we actually give you till Wednesday at 2 a.m., so kind of like after midnight Tuesday night. Or a later math task might be due Thursday night, but that's actually Friday morning or Friday night. We actually give you till past midnight just because people are in different time zones. So if you look, we'll try to be clear where it's kind of like, think of it like Friday night, but you actually have till Saturday at 2 a.m. And 2 a.m. means 2 a.m. Central Time, where the University of Missouri is located. And now our last stop on the Blackboard tour. This is the discussion board, and this is going to be a big part of the class where you're going to discuss mainly the readings throughout each unit. But there are also a couple permanent discussion forums here on the board. First of all, here's a place to ask questions about the course or technologies or little glitches or FAQs. You could ask Joanne or I directly, but if you want to post a question here, we will respond to it and then others can see how that question was answered. There's also a permanent discussion forum here about math tasks or math extensions, and this is where anybody can come and start a thread about the mathematics that they're working on. Because remember, you're individually responsible for solving math and turning in your written solutions, but you can work together. You can bounce ideas off each other, you can help each other get unstuck, or you can just explore the idea further by doing it together. And this is a place where you could do that and say, hey, I'm stuck here, post your thought, or you could say, hey, I solved it this way, it's pretty cool, here are thoughts that I have. It's not required, but it's just there if you want to use it. The main discussion forums will be associated with each unit. So here's a Unit 1 discussion where you're going to talk about your mathematics work, and then in most units they will look like this, where it's a discussion of the readings. Let's take a look inside one of those right now. So we've just left the discussion board, which is the broad level that collects all these different forums. Now we're inside one forum. This is the Unit 2 Readings Forum, and most of the forums will be one per unit, and they will be focused on the readings. Inside of a forum, you can have multiple discussion threads. So here's a thread on technology and tasks, and here's a thread on algorithms and problem solving. These are just prompts for discussion that Joanne and I create ahead of time, and we will have these waiting for you in the discussion forum. So you can go into these forums, we'll see that in a second. Now you can also create a new thread where if you wanted to ask a different question about the readings or go off on a different set of ideas than the ones that we've prepared, that's fine. It's not expected, so you don't have to create a thread. Most of the time we expect that you'll just go into the existing threads and have the discussion there, but you can create a thread if you want to. Now we are inside a discussion thread, which is where most of the action is going to happen. At the top of the thread you'll see the prompt or the question that Joanne and I have left for you just to spur the discussion. Then you'll see here the message box, which is where you can go ahead and type your thoughts. And again, this is where we want to see some full thoughts, either your own original thoughts in response to the question, or you can give thoughtful responses, clarifying questions, critiques of other people's prompts so that you can have a back and forth. But again, we want to see substance in the comments and not just small little things, or not just only small little things. Now, also notice that you can attach a file. So if you have a picture or if you're doing something that's mathematical and you want to upload some mathematics work as in a separate file, you can do that right here where you browse your computer and just attach the file. And when a discussion's actually happening, this will be populated with other people's responses. So you can either reply to those or you can just reply to the original thread, which would leave it as a new post. So again, what we want you to be doing is be in here on these discussion boards pretty regularly. So we'd like you to come into the discussion boards, leave some thoughts, engage a little bit with other people's thoughts, like on Monday or Tuesday, then do that again on Wednesday or Thursday, then do that again Friday, Saturday, so that you can actually make several different visits to the discussion thread each unit. So that's our overview of how we're going to be using Blackboard in this course. If you still have some questions or concerns about Blackboard, you can either contact Joanne or I directly, or you can go to the discussion board and use that questions about course procedures and course technologies thread. You can post your question there, we'll answer it, and everybody will be able to see it. The last two things that we wanted to mention, but we're not going to go into detail, is that there is a send email feature. You can send an email to the whole class, to the instructors, or you can pick particular people from class and send them an email, for instance, your small group. You also have a My Grades feature, which is where you can go and you can track your grades throughout the 8 weeks.